If you had told me late last summer that the director of Longlegs would be back early this year with a new film, and that movie was The Monkey, I don't think I would have believed you. But here we are, and here is the story for The Monkey. When two brothers, Bill and Hal, find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome kills start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. And this synopsis really only begins to scratch the surface of the chaos that is involved in this movie. And like I said, I wouldn't have guessed that Osgood Perkins, the same guy who did Longlegs last year, would be back with a movie that is so tonally different than Longlegs. It's really impressive, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in this review. But what Osgood Perkins does so quickly in this movie is he establishes the differing tones here. And this movie is absurdly violent. I mean, it is all out chaotic. It starts with the first scene. You know how this movie is going to operate in terms of violence. It lets you know right away. And then quickly after that, it lets you know the type of comedy that you're getting into here. And it only gets crazier from there. I just hit my mic. The the violence is nasty, and the comedy ranges from vulgar to shockingly dark throughout this film. There's a scene in particular, and I made a note here to make sure that I mentioned it. And I'm not going to spoil what the scene is, but you see something horrific happen on screen, and then there is a smash cut to a funeral. And if you had told me that I would be laughing out loud for about a minute and a half at a funeral scene in a movie this year, I would have a lot of questions on the type of film I was watching to have a situation like that unfold. But that really is Act 1 and half of Act 2 in this movie, is these two differing tones battling it out, often coexisting in the same scene. And in the process, this movie is unapologetically silly. I mean, it is chaotic in the way that people are killed. It is nasty. You want to look away, but you're also laughing at the absurdity of the kills. And it made for a really, really good time in the theater. I mean, watching this, I watched this film tonight. If you're watching this the evening I upload this review, I watched this in a packed Dolby Cinema at AMC, and everybody was laughing out loud when the kills were going down. People were shocked, audibly shocked at what they were watching on screen, and it was just a really enjoyable theater experience. This is one of my favorite things about watching a horror film in theaters, and especially a horror comedy, where you are shocked at what you're watching on screen, but you're also laughing like you would in a comedy film. And having these two, I guess, genres in the same film, and with Osgood Perkins's confident directing and understanding of the balance between these two tones, really made for an exciting, unpredictable, and unforgettable theater-going experience. Now, at the center of this film is Theo James, who gets a lot to do here in a dual role. And admittedly, I wasn't super familiar with Theo as an actor. I know he's most known for the Divergent series of films, but I haven't seen those films. So watching him here, he really is able to embody the guilt of Hal and the trauma of Bill, which, if you remember from the story, are our two brothers in this story. And he really is able to embody both of these brothers in this dual role. And I thought he was really good in the movie. He has a great dynamic with his son, who is introduced in Act 2 of the film. I like their relationship together. The family drama isn't what the film is focusing on, so it doesn't get a lot of attention, but I liked what they did with these characters and why the son becomes important in this film. All in all, I had an absolute blast with this movie. I cannot wait to watch it again. I was pretty excited for this film when I kind of heard the style that the film would be in, and really mixing the horror and the comedy, and Osgood Perkins behind the camera and writing the script based off the short film from Stephen King. There was a lot to be excited about with this film, and it certainly delivered. I think Act 1 was by far my favorite. I found myself laughing the most and being shocked the most in that part of the film, but I still enjoyed Act 2 and Act 3. And like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing this film again when it hits theaters next week. So, have you seen The Monkey? Did you get to go to the early access screening? What did you think of the film? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more film content from me. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.